Hello everyone, welcome to Durrett Steak. Let's get started. There's a lot I want to go over. First, let's go over my top 5 college football games of the week. Um, let's start off with number 5. I have 23 Michigan 1-1 versus 13 Indiana 2-0. It's going to be a need to call game FS1. It's a huge game for Harbaugh. It looks like Minnesota is just a mediocre team with a very bad defense, and now they have that win, which is not looking impressive. And then they lost to the little brother at Michigan State with Mel Tucker, and only his second game there with no OTAs, no preseason, and stuff like that. And Michigan State will just be a mediocre team at best this season. So if they start off 1-2, Harbaugh will be very close to either getting fired or just calling it quits or whatever. It's not gonna end smoothly there. And since Michigan won't play 10 plus games this year, if they have, assuming they have no games canceled, they would need to win at least 6 games, including the bowl game, for Harbaugh to be safe with this job and considered to be okay, good enough type of season. And since they have to play Ohio State, it means they'll already have another loss, which means they can't afford any more losses at this point. So I feel like this game is going to kind of right to the wire. Both teams have good offenses, so expect this to be a shootout. And I originally I favored Indiana at first, but now at the very last second, I'm going to switch my pick to Michigan. I just had them win barely, like a 35-34 type game. Next, we got Arizona State versus 20 USC, new game on Fox. Welcome back, Pac-12. It's been nice having you. Now I know Oregon and Stanford Oregon games can be on the primetime Saturday night one, but I feel like this is the more important Pac-12 game and the better matchup. So that's why I picked this one in my top 5. But I feel like if we had a normal season, Arizona State will also be ranked at this point. So I know they're not ranked right now, but don't let that non-ranking fool you. This is going to be a close game, and this is a potential upset game here. Um, I'm not sure what to expect actually, because I expect a little rustiness for both teams maybe in the first half, whether it's their rustiness on offense or whether they're just rusty on defense. But either way, I expect by the end of it to be a shootout and come down right to the wire, because this is going to determine who's going to in the South Division. Now I know Utah's one of the best. You're going to have something to say about it, but I feel like it's going to come down to USC and Arizona State, which a lot of people are thinking USC is going to win it and potentially go either undefeated and make the playoffs, or undefeated and lose in the title game, so they can at least make an New Year's Six bowl game. Um, but it's like I originally have picked USC, and I'm still gonna pick them, but I'm not as confident anymore. But I'm gonna have USC score like a last second touchdown or something to win that, like a 35-30 type of game. Um, 3 got 9 BYU. So no versus 21 Boise State 2-0. That's a FS1 game, 9:45 Eastern. It's on this Friday night, so it's not a Saturday game, it's a Friday night game. So definitely a chance to watch it there. So everyone has been saying that BYU hasn't played anyone. And to a degree, they have a point. Like, I wouldn't go as far as say they haven't played anyone. I mean, I feel like Houston will be a decent team, and some of the other G5 teams they play, like there's some always respectable programs like Troy and La Tech and like stuff like that. So I wouldn't say they play no, but the thing is though is that they're dominating mostly everyone they play, so therefore that's why that makes them look good, because they're beating all these teams by touchdown too. It wouldn't be that as impressive, but I feel like here's their chance to finally prove to college football fans, like, yes, we're for real, count us in. Um, and then also, and if BYU wins out, then they automatically get the New Year's Six bowl spot for playoffs. And if Boise State wins out, it's a important game for them, because if they win out, then and if Cincinnati can lose at least a game, then Boise State could be like, well, I think we're better than Coastal Carolina and Marshall, especially, so stuff like we should get that New Year's Six bowl spot. Because remember last year, Boise State was undefeated, and BYU upset them, and it cost them. So it's a chance for at home now to Boise State to return the favor, if you will, to BYU. But Boise State hasn't faced this type of Zach Wilson. They faced a freshman Zach Wilson, but they haven't faced this type of Zach Wilson. And plus, their Boise State's defense, while they're still good, obviously, for Boise, they're not as good. Like, there's a little bit of a drop up there. So it's a chance for like the running game to kind of get going there. Um, the the one thing that if Boise State does win, and the reason why it will be because of BYU's defense, because I feel like again the rush three pass eight might not work. What whether it's Hank Bachmeier or Sears starting for Boise State at QB. Um, but despite BYU being close numerous amount of times, surprisingly they've never won at Boise 0-5. So they have that curse to break. But this game coming down right to the wire like it usually always does. Um, and sadly, I'm gonna go with the upset here. I'm gonna pick Boise State by 3. So right now BYU's favorite for the 3, but I'm fine with that line. Like I understand why that line is, but I'm gonna switch and put Boise State winning by 3, making a winning field goal to end BYU's magical season there. Again, hopefully this one I'm wrong. I could be wrong, but we'll see. Second, you got the 8 Florida 3-1 versus 5 Georgia 3-1 game. That's the CBS afternoon slot. Like it is most years, winner of this game goes to the SC title game for a chance to play against Bama. This is the classic battle of a great offense versus a great defense. So it'll be kind of interesting to see what happens here. I feel like something that I've noticed the past couple of years is that Georgia's coach Kirby Smart seems to have the answer, the key to being Dan Mullen every time. Even back when Dan Mullen was at Mississippi State and Kirby Smart was a coordinator at Alabama, he just has the sauce to beat Dan Mullen. So I feel like that will carry weight in this game. But obviously Georgia's quarterback and offense has to improve after last game against Kentucky if they want to have any shot at winning. But and I feel like it's going to be kind of a lower scoring game. But the key here is that whoever hits 24 first will win this game, I feel like. And I feel like Georgia will survive in this game with a barely, though, 24-23 type game. Will come down right to the wire, super close. And then last but not least, you got the obviously one Clemson versus 4 Notre Dame game on NBC evening time. But so no Trevor Lawrence, obviously, for this big matchup. So we saw that the backup, he can be a good QB and he could do some damage. So Clemson should be fine for the future. But the only way Notre Dame is going to pull off this upset, though, is they have to play good defense and get turnovers like BC did, but then also throw the ball. Throwing the ball is where BC was kind of inconsistent, so therefore allowed Clemson to come back. The Irish won't have the luxury of, they're a good running team, but I feel like they want the luxury to just rely on the run like they usually do against this good Clemson defense. So this game will be close in my opinion. It's not going to be a blowout, especially since Trevor Lawrence not playing. But I think Clemson is overall the better team despite Trevor Lawrence not playing. So if they'll find some way to survive, I have them winning by a touchdown, like a 31-23 type of game. So there's my predictions there. We'll see what happens this week. Last week I was pretty off, so we'll see if I'm closer to being accurate this week. Okay, so now to go over my NFL predictions for this week. Starting with the Thursday Night Football game tonight. I get the Packers and 49ers. Very interesting game here. A couple players out for the Packers. A.J. Dillon, Jamal Williams, COVID issues. So the Packers are not going to have any running game at all, basically. So it's going to be all Aaron Rodgers. Against a 49ers defense, that's pretty good. But then the 49ers, it's like Jimmy G's out. So you have Nick Mullins starting. George Kittle is out. Coleman's out. You had a whole bunch of running back and just starting rookie running back. But if I'm the 49ers, if you rely on Nick Mullins to win this game, 49ers will lose this game. But if you just keep running, especially since the Packers showed against the Vikings, they're not that good at stopping the run. If you just stick to the run game, that's where the 49ers would have a chance. And under normal circumstances, I would have the 49ers pick this game, as we saw the 49ers destroy them both times last year. But with COVID and Deebo Samuel and Ayuk both being out for the 49ers, it's going to be too hard to overcome. So I have the Packers winning here. Broncos versus Falcons. I feel like this will be a close game because it's at Atlanta. Falcons, despite all their losses, have shown for the most part that they're going to at least put effort in it. But I'm going to take Denver to win this game. After them coming back last week, maybe they found like the secret ingredient, like the sauce for them to kind of work and win some games here. And if Broncos win, they're back at 500. And then who knows, maybe they sneak into the last wildcard spot. We'll have to see, because if they lose this game, they're out. But we'll have to wait and see there. So I'm going to have Broncos win this game. Seahawks versus Bills. Again, I don't trust the Bills' defense for nothing here. So Seahawks, in my opinion, should win this one, despite it being at Buffalo. Bears versus Titans. Again, Tennessee defense is not as like powerhouse, if you will, as like a Pittsburgh, and they don't have pass rush stuff like that. The Chicago offense line was still bad, even with a lack of pass rush, and the Titans' offense is too good for the Bears to contain. So I feel like, again, Titans are going to force a shootout here, which Bears can't do shootouts, so therefore Titans will win this game. Ravens versus Colts. Now this is, you can consider an upset pick of the week, in my opinion. I feel like Colts at home will beat the Ravens, mainly because their defense is super good. So therefore, they're going to make Lamar Jackson throw. And as we've seen against teams like Chiefs and Steelers, if you make him throw, you're going to have a very good shot at winning the game. Now, obviously, Philip Rivers now is going up against a good defense, Baltimore, so he can't be throwing picks, or else Ravens will hang on and win. So, if Philip Rivers takes care of the ball, then I like the Colts' chances here at home. Next, you get the Panthers versus Chiefs. Chiefs win this one easily, in my opinion. Panthers could potentially make it a high-scoring game, make it a fun game, if you will, but Chiefs should win this one. Lions versus Falcons. Matt Stafford is not going to be playing on this one, so that means the Vikings are going to win. Oh, Chase Daniels, good back. He's a respectable backup, but Vikings should win this one. Giants versus Washington. Important game here, because whoever loses this game, in my opinion, is not going to win the division. They're out of the running. Giants won the first matchup barely, but with Washington at home this time, I feel like Ron Rivera will get revenge, and Washington can win this one, so they can keep themselves in the race with Philly for winning the division. Texans versus Jaguars. Texans win easily. Minshew won't be playing. Even if he did be playing, Texans will still win. Raiders versus Chargers. Now this one's interesting because it's at LA, and Chargers can definitely score against a bad Raiders defense. This will be more of a shootout game, if you will. But I'm going to take Raiders to win it barely, so that way they can kind of like keep themselves in the playoff race, if you will. Because if they lose this game, then they take themselves kind of out of it again. Steelers versus Cowboys. Steelers win automatically, no matter who starts for Cowboys. Dolphins versus Cardinals. This is going to be a very interesting and fun game here. But I am going to take the Cardinals to win at home, just because I feel like Cardinals, while their defense is not great per se, it's like they can make Tua be like do the same thing against the Rams defense did basically against Tua, where you can contain him enough. And then as far as the Dolphins defense goes, well, it's good. I mean, they got so many weapons for Arizona, it's going to be hard to contain. So I feel like Cardinals will win this one. And then the Saints versus Bucks Sunday football game, very important game here. Because if Saints win, then with the Saints' schedule, they're going to put themselves on track to win the division once again. But if Bucks win, then because the Bucks have somewhat of some easy schedule, it's going to be hard for the Saints to try to come back from that. So it's going to be a good game. I feel like it's going to come down to one possession, right, like it usually does with the Saints this season, right down to the wire. But I feel like Tom Brady will find some way to win, and Bucks will get the W here. And then last but not least, Monday Night Football game, Patriots versus Jets. Good news, Patriots, you get to win a game here. So those are my predictions. We get the Packers, Broncos, Seahawks, Titans, Colts, Chiefs, Vikings, Washington, Texans, Raiders, Steelers, Cardinals, and Bucks and Patriots. So that's it for today. Please subscribe to my channel, tell everyone about me. Thank you very much, and you have a wonderful weekend of football. Thank you very much.